Hi, and welcome to the Soluri No Guts, No Glory Hour. Janet.
I'm Vinny.
We're here in the Madhouse tonight, and I just want to tell everybody thank you for tuning in last week because it was a really special, near and dear show to my heart. We covered breast cancer, and we gave out a lot of information, and I know it actually, from the feedback that I received, it touched a lot of people into their homes and gave them a lot of information they need to even pass on to other people. So that's what we're here for. Pass it on, sisters. It's all good. Who?
Jackie.
Oh, and Jackie. Yeah, Jackie. I forgot to mention Jackie Vigiani-Mori last week. And Jack, I wrote you on Facebook and apologize. I had a lot of things rumbling around in my head that day. But I love you. You're a strong, courageous woman. And just thanks for being you. That's all.
We love you.
Yeah. But anyway, tonight, Vin, I'll let you introduce our...
I'll let you introduce. Go ahead, my
Me?
sweetheart.
Okay. Well, tonight we have who I'm going to tell you, an amazing actor. This is no bull. I recently had the pleasure to, very first time, see a movie that he was in last year, an indie film called The Night Never Sleeps, and he was one son of a bitch. His name is Russ Camarda. Hi, Russ.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here.
Oh,
Thanks so much for having me.
It's just great to have you. Russ is an amazing actor, like I said, does a lot of indie films, but he wears many hats and does many things, which I'm going to let him actually talk about that tonight. But so Russ,
Yes.
where are you from?
I'm from Long Island. I'm originally
That's what I
from, when I was little, I lived in East Meadow, and then I grew up most of my young adult life in Massapequa. Went to Plain Edge High School.
Okay.
Now I live in Lindenhurst, so right around the corner.
My hometown, right?
Massapequa. Shout out to the Massaros.
Yeah, hey,
My
Miss
cousins.
Arrows. Yeah. And so we talked briefly in the green room before, because I kind of wanted to get a background. I think you're extremely skilled. When I saw you in The Night Never Sleeps, you know what? I said to my husband, I don't know why this guy isn't already like alongside Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. I truly mean that. You're gifted.
Thanks. That's very sweet.
The movie was a great movie. It was a great movie. I got to say that. Fred Carpenter did a great job.
Yeah.
But the acting you put into that, it kept us focused.
Well, I appreciate that. That's one of those roles, it's the psycho supporting role, the psycho bad guy, and it's kind of it's a flashy role, so it gets it's easy to get a lot of attention,
Right.
When you're playing the crazy guy, so
Yeah.
the crazy bad guy. It was a great experience, and I love playing things like that if I can get the chance to. So when you get to go out there and really let it fly like that,
How crazy are you in real life?
I'm nowhere near that guy.
That's not what all your coworkers.
Unless you cut me off when you're driving.
Yeah, we got some, background on you, all right?
That's right.
And then more recently, we had the opportunity to see you in Send No Flowers, Fred's recent movie now from the film festival from this year, which you starred with Sean Young and Donna DeCiani. Any other names? I don't really know.
Tony LoBianco's
Tony
in that
LoBianco,
picture,
that's
Gianni
right.
Russo,
Right.
Jackie Martin.
Jackie
yeah,
Martling.
absolutely, from the Howard
Right.
Stern Show. Yeah, that was a great experience too. I mean, both of those films were my first dealings and association with Fred Carpenter, who's a local legend, and Send No Flowers, as a matter of fact, I'll get the plug in now while I have the chance, is playing this Sunday at the Gold Coast Film Festival in Port Washington. I think it's the Soundview Cinema right on Main Street or one of those in Port Washington at 3:30 or 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the afternoon on Sunday. So
Sunday.
if you haven't seen Send No Flowers and you want to see a nice, great film festival,
That's a great movie.
go online, go to the Gold Coast International Film Festival. You can get tickets there, and it's playing this Sunday. And all the stars will be there. Sean Young will be there, Tony LoBianco, Gianni Russo. I'll be there. It'll be a good time. So.
Great. Well, I have to say, and I truly, truly mean this, and anybody can get back to us on Facebook, give us their comments, but I'm telling you, if you have a chance Sunday, go to the film festival, because the movie Send No Flowers is really a great film. He's a great actor.
We saw it twice.
We saw it twice.
Probably going to go again.
Yeah, definitely. It was great. But so anyway, how did you get your start? Because you're so seasoned in what you do. I mean.
Well, thanks. I mean, I've always wanted to do it since I'm little. I think, most actors, you'll find that they had that passion when they were little kids. And we were talking before, when I went to school, there was no drama program. When I went to Plain Edge High School in the 80s, it was only the senior play. That was the only thing they had.
Right.
And luckily enough, they did something that I could be in. So that was the only time I got to act in school. And,
What was the senior play?
It was Oliver.
Oliver.
And I played Fagin. So,
Okay.
so that was my big break.
That was the taste.
Right, it was a little taste.
Right.
But then out of high school, I didn't go to college, so I went right into New York and took acting classes and studied all kinds of different methods. And then from there on, did a lot of theater. And I did a lot of theater, local regional theater, off-Broadway theater, and I did dinner theater. I did improvisational stuff. So I did that for a lot of years. And then I was part of a Shakespeare company on the Upper East Side of New York in the mid to late 90s, and I did Shakespeare for a while. I taught acting for a while.
Do you have a great love for Shakespeare?
You know, I do. I wouldn't consider myself a Shakespearean actor. I mean, I've done enough
There
of
with
it
that
that
little mob tough.
yeah, yeah. But I got to do some great stuff, and Shakespeare you can't miss. You know, it's
Yeah,
probably,
you gotta be honest.
probably the greatest writing of all time, and I do have an affinity for certain, Shakespeare stuff. I'd love to go back and do it. Well, one of the things I've always wanted to go back and do is Richard III. I've been trying to convince people to mount a production of that I could do somewhere, but
Hey, you know what? Keep pounding.
someday
Yes,
I'll get somebody to
yeah.
open the
There's
door
guys
for me.
out
to-
there.
yeah.
There's
So,
definitely them out there.
So I did theater for a long time, and then while I was working my job in the 90s and the early 2000s, I was building my media business on the side, and I was doing independent film. And one of the guests you had on a couple of weeks ago is a good pal of mine, Dan Brennan.
Dan Brennan,
And he and
that's
I worked together on a lot of stuff, and we've been doing independent films now for a long time. And one of the real turning points for me, while I was working, I was actually acting, and I was an office manager for a trading firm in New York City downtown, and I was at my desk right across the street on September 11th, 2001. So
Oh, boy.
that kind of shook my perspective on things a little bit, and because I was the manager of that firm, I had to go back and forth to relocate that place because it was uninhabitable. So I was down there in that mess a lot, and it changed kind of the way I looked at what I should be doing and shouldn't be doing.
Right.
And I kind of went more into, I eventually left that job and really focused on video production and independent film. And since then, that's what we've been doing. I've directed 2 of my own independent features, probably produced 5 of them, and acted in a bunch of them. And so that's what I do now, basically.
So, wow, you have a very full schedule. I mean, really, you're probably always on the go then. I mean, you probably
Yeah, I mean, I'm
don't
always
have
doing.
much downtime.
It's a strange business because it's really a referral business. It's all these little circles of people who know everybody. That's how Dan and I met Fred Carpenter. Fred Carpenter, who directed these last 2 pictures that you
Right.
mentioned, is kind of known, around the area. But we all knew each other, but we never met.
Right.
And then eventually somebody needs you to do something, and then you get in, and Night Never Sleeps. As a matter of fact, the interesting story with that was Dan and I got into that picture just as actors, and we had small parts, and which was cool. It was like, hey, let's work with Fred. We never worked with Fred. He wants to work with us. And there was a whole bunch of machinations behind that picture about how that production was going to come off. And some things fell through and some things changed, and it looked like the movie wasn't going to be made. And then Dan, being the guy he is, stepped forward and said, hey, Russ and I, we'll help you make the picture, because that's what we do. That was, we made our own.
You must have believed in the script and the
Yeah,
script enough
absolutely. Mike
to have
Lavaglio's
wanted
script.
to, you
Yeah,
know,
who was a career cop who
to do
wrote
that.
that thing, wrote a really cool script and had some good characters in it. So Dan and I stepped in and became producers on it with Fred, and we started to rework it, and our parts changed a little bit, and then he became the lead guy, and I was kind of the lead bad guy, and it took off from there. But that's how the business works. So when you say on the go, it's that kind of thing all the time.
Right.
It's go meet this guy, and you think you're going in for this, and it turns
Right.
into something else,
Right.
and
It
you can do
branches
this,
out,
and
right.
who do you know who can do this, and that's how it
which
works.
is great. I
That's
mean, it's,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, but
No,
like we were talking about the murder mysteries, like
Yes.
the actors are also the ticket givers
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the popcorn guy.
Exactly.
But it,
I did that. I did
Right.
dinner theater for a long time.
everybody pitches in and do what you can.
I would
you know?
seat the people, basically take their orders, and then give
the order in,
show
run
was
back,
there.
get in your
Exactly.
costume, yeah.
There was no better training for an actor, though, than those dinner theater shows, because you literally had to be in character for 3 hours, for the
Right,
whole thing.
start to finish.
And as people are talking to you, and the ones we did were period pieces, so they were all set. When I did them, there was like the 20 show, the 50 show,
Okay.
so you had to know your history. You had to, if you were in the Army in the 40s show, you knew where you trained, you knew, and so it was a
Exactly.
great training for an actor. They were goofy, crazy cartoon things to do. I mean, they were silly. But as an actor, you had to physically be in shape for 3 hours, and you had to be in character, and you had to do your research and be truthful. And I wouldn't trade that training in for anything.
You could have been
Yeah,
in a 50s
exactly.
movie talking about your 78 Chevelle. You
No,
know?
and if they asked you, where you trained in the FBI, and you had to know where in Quantico and what you did,
There's a lot of homework to
it was
it.
a lot. And,
Yeah.
and like I said, and I used to tell people, I said, if you could do this, you can do Shakespeare.
Well, that's why
Challenging. Yeah, 'cause
Janet,
Shakespeare has to be
Janet was
tough.
saying, like, you're all around. It's not just that you do this and do this. There's so much in between, the study, to find out, to know,
Right.
to, you know.
Acting is a craft like anything else. Each of the things that I've gotten to do are very specific crafts. Directing is a craft, teaching is a craft, editing is a craft, acting is a craft. They're all very specific, and just because you can do one doesn't mean you can do the other. So
Right.
the people who want to do all the jobs, the way guys like Dan and I end up doing, I always say do them each individually well first.
Right.
Before you bring
Before
them
you start-
collaborative.
But then once you do that, it's not that hard to do them all at the same time. You know, people ask, how do you direct yourself? Because I've done that a lot in the theater and I've done it in film. If you can do each one separately, well, then when you do them together, it really is just kind of managing time. It's not that
And
difficult.
being on the scene is pretty much schooling in itself. You know,
Yeah.
you're watching the director, you're learning, the
Sure.
producer, you know, you're seeing everything, what
Yeah.
everybody does.
Absolutely.
You're waiting around, you're waiting for him to get his directions.
Anytime,
you're listening.
anytime a young filmmaker, and I've gotten a chance to talk at my old high school once, and,
Oh, that's
and,
great.
CW
That's
Post,
really
I talked
good,
to a
yeah.
film school. Anytime I get a chance to talk to kids who are going into film and want to be independent filmmakers, I say learn all the language, learn all the jobs. Don't just be a shooter. Don't just be an editor. Don't just be this, and especially learn what the actor's language is, because that's the one thing that's missing a lot of times on these, especially now on independent film sets, is directors don't understand how actors do their job, and there's a miscommunication in what their language is they're speaking.
Right.
So they may be able to frame a shot great and make it look fantastic, but they don't know how to get the truth of what they need out of that actor, and that's a very specific language. It's a craft in
Right.
itself, and you can't just get Joe Blow off the street and say he's an actor. You know, that's what, when I did Shakespeare, I did a production of Othello one time, and I had an English actor in the cast, and he had just come, he'd come over, he'd been over for like 5 years, and I said, what's the difference, between being here an actor and being in England? He said, well, here, everyone's an actor. They just raise their hand and they're an actor. He said, over there, you have to carry a spear for 5 years, and then you have to do this, and then you have to and there's an apprenticeship. There's
You gotta build your
Really?
way up.
like as if you were a carpenter or they treat it as a craft, so you
Right.
build yourself to understand it. Here it's like, you're whoever, reality TV, you
Right,
get up
right.
and you say, I'm an actor.
Exactly.
And that's what happens a lot of times is independent film directors they cast a type, or they bring folks in that they think are going to be perfect for this. But they're not actors.
Yeah.
They don't
Right.
know how to deal with that. So when the actor steps in, he stands out because I say, well, this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's like- Okay.
Stands out, outstanding. I'm going to say it.
Oh, it's so sweet.
I so look forward to the next thing that you're going to do, because
So do
you
I.
know,
I don't know what that is, but
that's
I was saying that, you're saying you work your way up. It's like the music industry back in the day. I mean, you'd be in bands forever, switch bands, do this, do this. Now with the American Idol, The Voice, the X Factor, all that, you're a star in a week,
Right.
It's,
there's
you
a
get these kids that are like 16
there's
years old, they're stars.
exactly. There's a craft that you have to respect what it is you're trying to do, and you have to know what the goal of each of those crafts are different, and you have to respect what that is and serve it. And that's how I was taught, and I was taught that the most important thing that an actor has to do is be truthful. There's no right or wrong, and when I used to
Right.
teach acting, I would tell the same thing. There's no right or wrong. It's truth of intention, and if you come into the scene with an intention and something that your character is trying to achieve, and you're dealing moment to moment with the other actor, it's truthful, and you want to be truthful. There's not a lot of it's not rocket science. It's not brain surgery. It's not exact.
Right.
Right.
It's
It's
better.
not by the book.
In fact, it's better when it's raw and there's that synergistic thing happening between acts. That's the best, the most truthful stuff. So a lot of people don't get that, and
Right.
that's where they need to learn it.
So the truthful thing is...
Truth is above of all. If it's not truthful, because the audience, whether they understand it or not, they might not even be able to articulate it, but an audience who's watching a performance that's not truthful gets pulled out of it immediately once they sense it. I'll give you an example. If two actors are, you and I are rehearsing a scene, and we're doing it this way for 4 weeks rehearsing it, we get on stage and there's 300 people out there, and we get on and I knock over that glass of water. I have to deal with that.
Oh, yeah, you have to roll with
I
it.
have to pick it up. I have to deal with it.
Absolutely.
And that because the audience knows the truth just happened.
Right.
Right.
And in fact, that's the best thing that happened
That's a
that
great
night
scenario, yeah.
because now it's alive.
Right.
And that's what you hope for. You hope for those things to happen. So that's how I learn my
Right.
craft, is to be truthful always.
You're very right about that. I mean, even singing on stage, something can go wrong. You have to roll with it. You can't like get that shocked look on your face.
And you
or-
can't ignore it.
You can't ignore it. You have to somehow find the way to keep
Yeah, you
moving
have,
into
you have to
so-
integrate it into the moment.
Like the old
Exactly.
Carol Burnett shows, right?
Well, yeah, well, they did that for on purpose half the time, you know.
You know, some of the times you're seeing them, like they're turning their
Yeah.
faces, they're laughing.
Right,
like-
right,
Yeah,
right.
which I loved
But you
all that
look back
stuff,
at
yeah.
those now.
But why does the audience love those things the most? Why do they
Because
love
it's
the
raw
outtakes?
and it's real.
Because it's real.
Raw and
Right.
real,
So
absolutely.
when they can sense the truth, it's most absorbing to the audience.
I remember sitting there watching, waiting to see it happen, you know, trying to catch it and stuff.
Right.
And I'm pretty good. When I watch a movie, I catch
Oh,
things.
he catches a lot of things.
Thank
Yeah.
God for DVR, because I always, wait, did I see?
Yeah, right, right.
Yeah,
back
he
up
sees
there?
everything.
You know, I see him come into the room, and then all of a sudden they come back and the glass thing. And
Yeah.
I said, wait, there was a glass on
Right,
that
right.
table.
Yeah, he likes
Yep.
to go back.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff I never realized how they miss when they're making a film.
Continuity, yeah. It's that's what they call continuity.
But there, who's the person? Is it the producer?
I don't
in
know
charge of?
who's directing the movie. It depends on what movie you're making. If you have,
You know what I mean? Like,
there's,
where in the
there's usually a
scene-
continuity person on a big
I would
set.
think that. Okay,
That's-
see, I didn't know
they
anything
take
about that. But
Polaroids.
it should be of
Yes.
the set and everything
course.
that's on the set, and even where it's angled for them. Like I would be meticulous with that
Right.
stuff. It would have to be.
It's all about budget,
Yeah.
though.
And I'm
If-
not okay.
If you don't have the budget, then you can't pay the guy with the Polaroid who takes it. And, you know.
One of the actors could be
Then
that
it's like,
guy.
don't touch that.
but I
could
would
be
be
his
that guy
job.
then. I'd be the actor who
Okay.
makes sure
Yeah.
my set.
Well, then I'll hire you.
Like,
She, let me tell you something. She would
Never
be the
pay him
best
an
at
act.
that. We'd be sitting on the couch, and she'll say, "Hun, can you just straighten out that picture?"
Everything has to be just a certain way.
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Like, and if it's over there, she'll be like,
yeah.
Good.
"Let me
Yeah,
go get
no,
that, because you're
that's-
not enjoying this movie right now."
Because I feel like everything needs to be
Right.
the way you first are representing it. You know, there should be no diversion because if you want it to be real and authentic.
That's it. You want the
and-
truth.
Absolutely.
You
And
want
like
the truth.
you said, bloopers. At the end of a movie, I get so excited when certain movies, before you walk out of the theater,
Right.
you know, you're ready to get up and leave, but
Right.
then they show the bloopers. That's the best to me. That's the
That's
best part.
because
I mean,
it's
normally
speaking to
comedies,
you
but,
in a real way, and you're seeing the truth of something
Yeah.
that happened.
Yeah.
That's why the whole reality TV thing is kind of silly, because it couldn't be farther from reality. So as soon as you put the camera on, the truth goes out the window.
Right.
You know, that's why it takes
Right.
an expert actor to deliver a truthful performance in imaginary circumstances. If you can believe that I'm really doing that.
I believed you were a little.
I was a little crazy that one.
In the reality shows, I mean, people think it's reality. And meanwhile, they come in, like, go back out.
Yeah,
you know, they
of
don't
course.
see all that stuff. You know,
Absolutely.
wait, cut, that wasn't good. Come back in, you got to tell Jenny this, Nookie.
right.
You know,
what I mean?
You know what I find really funny, because I watch them. I love the Housewives. I just
Oh,
do.
boy.
I just do. I
How
love
did
them.
I
I
know?
watch them. And these women,
Right, so do
they
I.
all think they could sing. No, they all think they could sing, and they all wind up getting gigs in like Vegas and record deals. Not that they go far.
Right.
I'm like, these women have. I got more talent in my toenail.
That's right.
And they all have the opportunity because they are where
TV's
they're
a
at.
very
You know what I
powerful
mean?
medium,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
If you get an audience that big. yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
and
what
it's-
we're hoping for.
It's comical. Well, you know what? If anybody can do it, you definitely can.
We'll see.
And you've taught, right? So
I
you've
taught
had
acting, yeah.
workshops and
Yeah, I used to run little 8-week courses at local theaters, and I had a space of my own in Lindenhurst, actually, not too long ago.
on Wellwood Avenue.
On
right?
Wellwood Avenue, right? Yeah. And I used to teach acting when I could get a group. I only did adults. You know, I only did like from high school age up, because I just didn't believe in kids stuff. Was eventually improv games and stuff, and it wasn't my thing. I needed.
Right.
I needed
Well, there's
adult
something
guidance.
for everybody. That was
Yeah.
definitely not your thing.
But I
you know.
couldn't, eventually you needed a good amount of people to do it right, so I couldn't maintain it.
Did you find that many of them had the possibility when they walked in, pretty much not as soon as they walked through the door, but certain people you could see have the knack, are definitely going to have the skill and
Well, yeah, I mean,
the ability
you can
to
tell the people who are willing. Here's the interesting thing: my classes, I didn't care. It was the same for everybody. So I taught a basic class. So if you had years of experience studying all kinds of other things, or if you never did another thing, you were all in the same class. And the people who often did the best and were the most truthful were the ones who had no training,
Right.
because they were sponges to this new idea of doing it the way I was doing it, and they didn't have all these preconceived things.
Right.
So the seasoned actors who were in the class would always be like,
Yeah.
well, why is he doing so? You know what I mean?
Right.
But that was the thing. You could access the truth quicker, and that's why, like kids get it like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Because
I find that when I coach football. So when I do the 7-year-olds, my God, whatever you tell them to do,
Right.
that's the way it's done, and they know that. You get to the 13, 14-year-olds, like, they're superstars already.
Sure.
Although-
You got to shake
Oh,
off
it's
all the
tougher,
bad
right?
habits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's it's
exactly.
tougher.
Exactly. Although I got to mention, I had this one kid named Cameron, 7 years old. And I guess, and he watches football all the time.
That's cute.
And he gets down, I made him quarterback, and this kid was phenomenal. And if Cameron's parents are watching, they know I love this kid. Well, he gets down there, he goes, down, sit, eagle. We have no.
He was just throwing some audibles in for
He's seen Philadelphia play, and he's going, eagle. And I just started dying. And all the kids started standing up and looking at us.
That's great.
And they go,
Wow, what am I supposed to do?
I don't know, eagle. But it was like,
That's
you couldn't yell at him because
Right.
it was just like
That's great.
prize winning right there. It
Yeah,
was like,
that's,
oh my God.
you can't
That's about as real as it
duplicate that
gets.
stuff. Yeah. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then
Awesome.
when we come back, I know Janine pulled up some clips.
Let's see what we got. I don't know what we got, but
I
we'll
know,
look.
because the flash drive, it didn't all work out. But Janine's going to pull up some stuff for us, and when we come back, stay with us because you're going to see Russ in action. This is Beth.
Hi.
Oh, congratulations. When are you due?
I'm not pregnant.
Oh, look at that. Excuse me.
You're totally thin.
You look very sexy.
For life's bleachable moments, all it takes is 3/4 of a cup.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn? Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote, or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure. You'll be happy you did.
Like so many people, are your finances tight lately? Afraid to open your mail or even answer your phone? Well, take heart. You don't have to live like that. If you're 62 or older and own your own home, you can join the thousands of folks who have used safe and effective government-insured reverse mortgages. The government-insured reverse mortgages from Long Island's Senior Reverse Network allow you to stay in your home and turn equity into tax-free cash. Our government-insured reverse mortgages can eliminate mortgage payments, credit card balances, or just improve your lifestyle. Do yourself a favor and solve these problems now. Call the Senior Reverse Network, and our advisors will answer all of your questions about our reverse mortgage programs. We've helped scores of senior Long Island homeowners like you who now enjoy a worry-free retirement. Get the financial security and peace of mind you've dreamed about. Pick up the phone and call us at the Senior Reverse Network now to set up a free consultation.
Call 1-800-985-REVERSE. That's 1-800-985-7383.
Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Hog's hair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly using Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website, Formula autowash.com.
So then I said, Mr. Prime Minister, I'm flattered that you love chocolate, but I'm here strictly in a professional. What's wrong with him?
He thinks you're naked.
My shell is brown. It just looks like my milk chocolate is showing. Only a fool would think I'd actually show up naked.
So it's that kind of party. Hit it! I'm sexy and I know it. Aye. Look at that body. Look at that body. Look at that body. I work out. Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Hi, and we're back with Russ Camarda, actor extraordinaire. And before we go any further, I want Janine to pull up the clip that we have, some of Russ's stuff, and then once the clip's done, Russ is going to recap what each little segment was. So,
I like to say, before any further ado,
before any further ado,
See what we got. I'm anxious to see what we got today.
Yeah, I know.
we're going to surprise Russ. He don't even know what we got.
All right, Janine. So if you could pull up those clips, that's great. Thanks.
Marisol, you're looking so beautiful tonight. I mean, you look good enough to eat, you know? How you doing? Are you fucking him now? Is this yours? How much you paying for this? Come on, you can tell me. How much he paying for you? I mean, how much does a blowjob for somebody like this go for? What? Was that an insensitive question to ask? I mean, you think she's a whore, right? Is that right? She's a whore? Is that what everybody thinks? She's a whore? You all think she's a whore, right? Well, you're not a whore to me. You know why? Because I don't pay for it. Let me show you.
Rick, don't worry, I'll be fine.
Not worried.
Your hands give you away, Rick. I still have 4 of my 5 senses, and they're pretty powerful. You're smiling.
No, I'm not. Can I ask you a question? Why are you having your wedding videotaped? I mean,
Think somebody should see it, don't you? How do I look?
you look, well, you're just the most beautiful bride I've ever seen.
You say that to all your brides.
No, I don't. Okay. When the music starts, you go when you're ready. And when you feel this warm light on your face, you know you're home. You'll be fine. And I'll be waiting for you at the altar.
You look good. I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, that was Send No Flowers too.
Yeah, that was Send No
Wow,
Flowers.
so there was 2 movies there, because the format, it was my fault today with the flash drive. But
Night
the
Never
first
Sleeps?
one was The
It was
Night
The
Never
Night Never
Sleeps.
Sleeps, right, where I'm
And the
psychic.
character name that you played?
I was Iceman.
Iceman.
I was a Latin Dominican gangster who was.
And you got your tattoo removed.
I had 2 neck tattoos and 1 blue eye, and I created a very
Right.
bizarre
Now,
character.
they painted those on you for...
No, what it was the character was written differently. First of all, it wasn't really meant for me to begin with. It was written for like a young gangbanger. It was a small part. And then when, like I said, when Danny and I came in and the film changed and we worked with Mike, the screenwriter, and changed the characters around, I said, I'm not a kid. I'm not a 24-year-old gangbanger. I said, let me do this the way I want to do it and put a little age on him. So I figured this guy was in and out of prison for a long time. He was probably like a feral dog. like a
Right.
a wild animal. So
Yeah.
I got to put the neck tattoos. They were just sort of temporary things, and I wanted to have one eye blue.
I loved
because
that.
I thought of him almost like a dog, like a wolf or
right.
something. And I moved sort of that way, and that's where we created this kind of mangy.
Yeah, that character was
Amazing.
Psycho.
was
It
awesome.
evolved into the perfection of that movie.
Yeah, he was
You little
nuts, and he
psycho.
gets even crazier than that. As
Well,
well.
Yes, he
yeah.
does.
He gets
Yeah,
even crazier.
definitely. And the second movie.
Yes, the second one was Video Guys, which was Dan Brennan's picture.
Now, when you say Dan Brennan's picture, he wrote it. Did he?
He
write
wrote
the
it. He
screenplay?
directed it.
Okay.
That was his baby. That was all Dan Brennan. And in that one, it's about a wedding videographer who has to videotape his ex-wife's wedding. But along the way throughout the picture, it's all the different weddings that these guys have to shoot and all the crazy things that happens. And that's kind of one of the sweeter moments. It's a funny comedy, but that's one where my character was sort of a hard ass throughout the picture.
Okay.
He's very cynical. He
Okay.
just doesn't want to do this anymore. And now he's stuck with this blind bride who he's got to walk down the aisle because she can't see.
So that wasn't his ex-wife.
No, Dan's the lead character.
Dan's
It's his
it's his
ex-wife.
ex-wife,
Right.
okay.
That's just one of the weddings they
Right,
work.
okay.
But it's the point in the movie where my character, who's this kind of nasty guy the whole time, sort of softens up. And this blind bride kind of softens his heart. So that's what that is.
Well, I thought it was good because it showed two signs of the characters that he can play. Because
I'm
you
not
see,
always crazy.
well, I saw you
Not always crazy.
in The Night Never Sleeps, and I thought, wow, this, I wonder if you would get typecast as that bad guy because you do it so well. But then just now that clip actually shows that you can really play a sensitive part and do that just as well and
He
just
could be
as believable.
He could be a doctor too.
And yeah, you could be a doctor
That's
because
right.
anybody that watches any kind of Long Island TV, which we do, LINY, Channel 12 News. I was actually at my vanity one morning getting ready, and I think I first heard your voice because I was putting on my makeup, whatever, and my TV's above, and all of a sudden I heard the voice, and I looked up, and Vinny was in the shower. I'm like, "That's Russ." So I watched the whole commercial, and then I paused it, and it was for
Premier Care, I think.
Premier
is
Care?
that- yeah. There's all those urgent care centers that open
Right.
up. And yeah, they play that a lot. And the irony, I was telling it, Premier Care probably doesn't want to hear me say it, but I have DirecTV, so I never get to see the Cablevision spots.
yeah, but everybody else.
But
sees
everybody
it.
else sees it, so I
Everybody
keep
else, so
saying,
that's all that matters.
I get inundated with emails. Hey, Doc,
How
you doing?
Yeah,
That's what I said. I said, I didn't know Russ was a doctor.
Yeah, I paused it, waited till he got out of the shower. I'm like, "Look, it's Russ."
Right.
But I like the kid when he goes, "What about Christmas?"
That's right.
And then you have that sweet little.
And that little
"Even I
boy,
can't sing it on
I
Christmas."
did a short film recently, and it was a real intense, piece. And the director who did that commercial needed a little boy, and I said, I got the perfect kid, and he was.
He was cute.
He
He
is
was
great, but he's a good dramatic actor. that
And
little
who's
boy.
he?
Is he?
Oh, I can't remember his name now.
And he's
Yeah, he's a
Long
real
Island,
from
too?
Long Island, another
Yeah.
local kid, really good. Yeah,
There's a lot of talent.
a lot of
here.
talent, absolutely.
There's so much talent. Matter of fact, totally off the subject, but make it really quick. But have you ever seen the band Big Shot?
The Billy Joel
The Billy
one?
Joel band?
I think I've seen them. Yeah, I think I've been at things where they were part of.
Right,
another band
right.
and
Well,
everything.
the lead singer, keyboard player, Mike. You know what? I forget his last name. Mike not Gardino. I don't know what it's. Well, excuse me anyway, Mike, for not pronouncing it correctly. But he always sang Billy Joel, and I guess Billy Joel. I don't know if he saw a video. Hears about the band Big Shot,
Sure,
obviously, because
of
they
course.
took his music, and he looked him up, and he pulled him up on stage. I believe at the Paramount.
wow.
I don't know the sequence of how everything went, but I believe as of yesterday, he's on the European tour with Billy Joel.
How
singing
cool
with
is
Billy
that?
Joel.
How cool is
Another
that,
Long
right?
Island boy. And you know what? I give kudos to Billy Joel.
Billy,
for-
if you're out there, I'm here. I can't sing, but
There goes my mic.
you lost your mic.
Yeah, lost my mic. But
See,
anyway,
this is truth.
That's right. You got to deal with that. That really happened.
when it's live TV,
I was here. I saw it.
Who knocked over a glass of water?
well, you guys keep talking because I think my mic is actually off.
That is pretty cute.
No, but that's a great story, and I actually think I saw that band when they were with. I had friends in a Chicago tribute band, Beginnings.
Right.
The horn section for the first movie that I did was guys from the Chicago tribute band, and I think they played a gig where it was all the tribute. It was Big Shot. It was them, and I got to see all those guys. And there's so much talent out here. So much talent on the island. It's incredible, really.
I think my wife's having a little hard time with her.
How's your mic
microphone.
doing there? You all right?
Oh, my mic's
Looks like it's
good.
on, so you're good.
Okay, I think we're good. Can you hear me, Janine? Okay.
So that's how you. No, see, now if every wife had a mic, you could just shut it off.
But that's what we always talk about. It's live TV, so anything can happen, and you have to
truth.
roll
That would
with
be a great
it. The
scenario in
truth.
life. They'd just be going.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Listen, I'm good. I actually have a really funny story about live. I'm going to tell it real quick because it's so apropos for right now. I play roller hockey, NBC interviewed a bunch of women. They picked me. They were going to do a story on moms that play roller hockey. So not only did they come to my game that night, this is really funny. Can't believe I'm telling it on TV, and so they were going to come to my house during the day, film my children, myself at home. We're going to play a little street hockey. So one of my friends cleverly said, "Why don't you get those chicken cutlet breast things and stick them in your shirt? It makes you look really good." And so silly me, the lesson at the end, I will tell you what it is.
Never
when we get there,
listen to your friend. Is that?
Yeah, well, that's one of them. So I decided to do this, and the crew came, and they filmed on the side of the street. We were playing hockey, and NBC, the Later Today show, right after Matt Lauer. And anyway, so we were playing. I totally got into it because that's what I do when I play hockey. Totally forgetting I had these things in. They warmed up to my body temperature. All of a sudden, I'm skating, and one plops out under my jersey and falls down.
Oh, boy.
I looked, I skated, I grabbed it, I skated over to the producer who was out of camera,
Right.
out of range. I just shoved it into her chest, like, "Here, take this."
Right.
She just looked at me, and I went back and got the puck and kept playing.
See,
but
now, if you'd have handled that truthfully, you'd have shot that sucker right into the net.
That's what I was thinking. A little slap shot.
A wrist shot right over the.
There you go.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, I should have.
I can
right?
just see the save.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but the moral of that story is to be yourself, because I
Yes.
should have just,
Or
just
at
gone
least
out. Yeah,
use really good tape.
yeah,
Well,
there you
listen,
go.
I know you're into boxing.
Big boxing fan.
I want to touch on this really quick. Because
Big
last night we went to MMA fights. They're the amateurs,
Yeah.
platinum gloves.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I go back to see who I know back there. We want to do maybe see if we get somebody on the show. And the guy says to me, he says, could you go in this guy's corner? I said, what? He says, yeah, he has nobody here.
Oh.
I said, you're kidding me.
More than one.
So he says, all right. So I take him out, I'm walking out there. So we get to the ring. I walk in with the ring. I got work boots on. I got a flannel, a shirt.
Like a thermal.
Yeah, thermal shirt. So I'm in the ring with a guy, and I'm like, what's your name? Hey, Sal. All right, Sal. So I tell him, you any good up, on the ground? Or you got good hands? He goes, well, I'm better on the ground. I said, all right, so, start off, shoot for him, take him down, we'll take it from there. Okay, so then they're announcing him. I get out of the ring, and I'm like, I got no towel. I got no Vaseline for this kid. There's no water. There's no spit bucket.
Nothing.
I run out the door. I buy a water at the session. I come right back in. I was like, oh, my God, I got to pull this guy's mouthpiece out. He's going to be sweaty. I reach over. I grab the judges. He's got a pile of gloves. I put them on. As I'm putting the second glove on, because I can't get it on, my hand's injured, I'm sticking it on my fingertips. All of a sudden, the guy's going, he's tapping out.
Wow.
I said, oh, my God. So the one is, I don't have to give him no water, no nothing. I get him out of the ring. The guy goes, you never put Vaseline on me. I said, God, you didn't even come with a towel. So now I feel bad. I walk the kid out of the ring. I take him. I don't want him to walk by himself, so I walk him out the door where they came in. I get him out the door. I said, listen, good luck to you. The guy turns around. He says, listen, this guy's got nobody either.
Oh, geez.
The next guy. I said, oh, my God.
So you were the cornerman for the night.
So I'm this guy's cornerman. I said, how old are you? He goes, 18. I said, nobody's here? He goes, no. He said, my dad's here. He's in the audience. I said, all right, well, I'll take you out. I said, do you have a towel? Do you have any water? He says, no. No. I said, do you have a spit bucket? He says, no. I said, Vaseline? No. I said, do you have balls? He says, yeah. I said, well, you better hold on. You're probably going to get kicked. Let's go.
That sounds like dinner thing.
I take him out. I take him out. I walk past the promoter. I said, get this guy a water.
Right.
He brings me back a water, and he brings me back a pitcher, a silver pitcher
Oh,
from the
yeah, 'cause
hotel
it was the
to
hotel.
spit in. A minute and a half later,
People don't
a minute and a
understand.
half later, this kid gets tapped out too. I tell the guy, listen, I'm done. I'm 0-2. I'm not taking nobody else.
People don't realize how tough fighters have,
Oh, my
especially at the
God.
low
Yeah,
ranks.
at
It's
the
hard,
amateurs
man.
coming in.
But talk about truth. That's why I've always loved boxing. Boxing's a truth machine.
Yeah.
There's no
lying.
shortstop. There's no wide receiver. There's no teammate. It's you and the other guy, and you're going to find out real quick the truth about yourself and him.
Yeah, it's tough.
And that's
sport.
why I love it. I love it.
Listen, good coaches help, and good trainers help.
Right, but
once you get in that ring, bro, if you don't listen to what
like
they
Mike,
said, and can't do what they
Mike
tell
Tyson
you.
used to say, once you get hit, the plan goes out the window.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Now
That's the truth.
you did some boxing in Send No Flowers.
I was hitting the bag. I was hitting the speed bag.
Okay,
and the heavy
right.
bag.
Okay, that's right.
I didn't
I'm sorry.
actually.
Right,
get in
right.
there.
They just showing him how tough of a guy he is.
That's
But
right.
when we watched that, I said to my wife, I said,
Yeah, he did.
He knows how to hit the bag. 'Cause I've hit the bag.
Yes.
I've built some gyms with Mike Corleone and Mike. Hey, Mike. going out to see. I mean, he's fighting on the 22nd.
Right.
But I've been around the game a long time.
Yeah.
You know, and we talked in the green room. We like
Yes,
guys.
well, we're all
Hagler fans.
Hagler.
You know, down there.
Marciano was my hero.
That's my favorite of all time.
Don't you have a really great poster? Don't you have a promotional
Yes,
poster, an original?
I have an original 1952 that came from Madison Square Garden when he fought Ezzy Charles.
Oh, yeah, the first one or the second one?
The first one.
The first one, the 15 rounder.
Yeah. So I had brought that. Matter of fact, I brought that into a sports collection place maybe 15 years ago. The guy goes, "Oh my God!" He goes, "I'll give you 500 or 1,000 in trading." I said, "No, I'm gonna hold this."
Right. Yeah, The Rock was, that was
my man.
all truth.
Undefeated.
Man. That's right.
And he's one of us.
And he's a Paisan. Exactly.
He was an undefeated boxer.
Only undefeated heavyweight champion in history. Rocky
Really?
Marciano.
Wow. And that was when did he fight? What years?
52 to 56.
Yep.
Really?
And he got killed in a plane crash.
Yeah.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, about 14 years after he retired.
Wow, you know what? I didn't know that. And so he couldn't have been that old because they retire fairly young, right?
43.
Wow.
He retired
well,
at
that's a
32 or
shame.
something. 48.
Holmes
maybe?
came close.
Yeah, and I was cheering the night that Spinks beat him to stop him, you know?
Spinks. Oh, okay.
Because he went to 48-0 and he lost to the 49th fight.
It's Spinks, right? I said Spinks.
Yeah.
Michael
Michael
Spinks.
Spinks.
Michael
Michael
Spinks.
Spinks. I remember.
That's
that.
great. That's great.
Yeah,
No, not
Leon
Leon.
I was rooting too. Like,
Yeah.
no, come on, get him Spinks.
Yeah. No, I wish I
Wasn't
could
a
buy.
Spinks
I wish
fan.
I could get in there and do it.
But you have.
When I was a little kid.
Okay.
When I was a little kid. I haven't done it. But there's, there's a place I just found. In fact, the guy that did that gym for Sentinel Flowers opened up another gym, and he's like has an over 35 sparring night. And I'm like,
Oh, you should.
do I really want to do that?
It just hurts more now.
And that's like it just hurts a lot more. I don't wake up like I got hit with a truck.
Back then, I remember you get hit. You know, it was all cool. You know, it hurt maybe for a couple hours later.
Right.
Or
But
maybe
you know what?
Next day,
It would
no.
take me 3 days
Yeah.
to get through it.
But like
you're lucky.
anything in life, because I like to do a lot of different things. I like to try everything once to see. And you know what? I say go for it when you have a chance, because you know what, even in one night, if you feel like it's too much, then you pull back. And but at least when you'll probably persevere and keep going.
All right.
Because I think that's your personality. I can tell that's your personality. You're not a quitter.
At 50, I look at it this way. I played flag football up until last year.
Right.
I played flag football. I played hockey with her last year. You want to try it, you try it.
Right.
Getting punched in the face at
That's a
50,
tough one.
that's
a
a
tough one.
hole in the swallow.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
It's not
than
like a good punch in the face. That'll get you going.
I could use a good ass kicking, to be honest with you.
And
I
who
really
said
that?
could. It was Joe Pence.
Mike Hazard. I should know
that's
that
right. Yeah, that's right. You should, because you know all.
$200.
Yeah, or an ass kicking.
Yeah, it's kicking.
So are you a big movie buff? Like, did you grow up being a huge
I
movie buff also?
I do love movies.
And
I've
what
always loved movies.
types of movies? Do you have one genre
Well,
that
I'm
you like more than others?
I mean, I like a lot of different things for different reasons, but I was always a big Scorsese fan and a Coppola fan, and I love Kubrick's
Okay.
films. I'm a big fan of that stuff.
Scorsese was. Oh, I'm sorry. Scorsese was at the indie film in Belmore that night. You knew that, right?
Martin Scorsese?
Not Martin Scorsese.
No.
No.
There's no way Martin Scorsese.
No.
If he was, I wish somebody had told me that.
No, somebody was there. I think he was there.
Oh, no, I find that hard to believe. We'll have to check on it. We'll have to do some research.
Wait a second. Where's our research people? Can you guys go take care of that
Martin
while we're on
Scorsese?
camera? I could swear that Fred, he was pulled up in a big white limo, and everybody was saying Martin Scorsese.
No. It was definitely not Martin Scorsese. It was
Okay.
probably a Martin Scorsese lookalike, but it was not Martin Scorsese.
Okay.
Yeah, but,
Wow,
but
I'm so
I remember
disappointed.
hearing that.
Yeah,
I was like, that's
no, it was not Martin
Somebody
Scorsese.
said it. I mean, it's not something I just made up, but somebody
No, I think
was saying-
somebody was,
was just trying to pump up.
All-time
Okay.
favorite movie?
I
Mine's
fell for it.
Goodfellas. That's my
I love it. I'm more of a Godfather fan, but I love them both. So.
Now, a good friend of mine, Lenny Pasfaro, his father played in the original Godfather, number one.
Oh, yeah.
It was Luca Brasi.
Oh wow! Well, Sentinel Flowers. You remember the guy who runs he's the butcher?
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Johnny Russo. That's Carlo.
Right.
Danny Russo.
And he's going to be there Sunday. So if
Right.
anybody wants to come
And
down
he
and say
was
hi
good.
to
He was
Carlo
very
from the
good.
Godfather. he
Actually,
is.
you know what? Maybe we'll go down because Sunday, believe it or not.
So he probably
we
knew-
have
he
nothing
probably
going
knew.
on.
Oh sure,
We'll go down.
absolutely. Yeah. He talks about it all the
He
time.
went under Lenny Montana. And he was also a heavyweight champion wrestler.
Oh, you look like a wrestler.
Yeah, he was a
Luca
big
Brasi.
man.
Yeah,
He was a huge man.
And I don't know if I already said it, but I may have said it in the green room or thought I said it here, or maybe I did say it here on camera. But if I did, I'm going to say it again. I see you on the big screen with the big guys. I really do. That's what I believe in you, definitely, your acting skills. So if you had the choice, and I had a little fairy
Magic
dust,
wand?
yeah, and I said to you, who would your ultimate actor
They
or
give you three.
group of
Take
actors?
three.
Yeah, we'll give you three.
Okay. Well, definitely Anthony Hopkins.
Ah, superb.
Anthony Hopkins is a guy,
Yeah.
because he marries the classically trained English Shakespearean school of acting, the Royal Shakespeare Company, and almost the method of modern American acting from Strasbourg in the 30s. So he's one of the few guys who's everything. Talk about truth. I could watch the guy read the phone book.
No, I loved him in
That's a
Legends
good
of the
choice.
Fall
Oh,
when he played
he's-
the father. That movie, I
guy
thought he
is
was
so good.
great.
He's
Then he-
one of the
he
greatest.
played after he had the stroke, and he just did it so well he couldn't speak. I just thought he was
Right.
amazing. I mean, he's amazing no matter what.
There's
but
so many. I mean, I was always an Al Pacino fan. I'd love to see Al go back and be a little more subtle, and I'd love to get across from him and see what that would be like.
Yeah.
Because they say, like even the athletes say, when when you're on the ice with Gretzky, the game's easier for you because
Right.
the puck is always on your stick.
Right.
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 They make you better.
More
Right.
perfection.
And in fact, when you act, and I'll tell this to any student that I talk to, you don't create the character. I mean, you come in with your intention of what you want to do. But the truth of the moment between you and the other actor and what you're trying to achieve is what creates the character. So your performance really isn't your own. Your performance is, they're responsible for it. So the better they are in front of you, the better what you're trying to achieve comes. It's just the way it works.
Right.
You're not creating anything. It's created out of the moment. So Anthony Hopkins, Al Pacino.
You got one more? Think good.
Boy, it's
No.
so hard. The only thing that's coming to mind is like a Kate Blanchett.
Okay,
Somebody like that.
I wasn't gonna say it, but I was like, oh, I wonder if any of them are gonna be female.
Yeah,
out of the
Kate.
three.
She's another one who
Yeah.
who brings a lot to the table, truthfully, and can do so many things technically well and truthfully well. That's a tough combination to make, like a Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
She gets all the technical stuff out of the way so that all the noses and wigs and everything is done, and the truth can come out.
And
It's a hard thing to do.
she's probably, I think, one of the best actresses I
All
think I've
time,
ever seen.
all
She's
time, one of the
just, I mean,
greatest.
she can play any part and suck you in. That when somebody plays a part, especially when they're playing somebody that everybody knows.
Yes, right.
That's got to be the toughest
Very,
thing
very
because you
difficult.
have to be.
I'd love to try that one time.
Yeah, you have to be. Who would you?
I don't know. I'd have to find out who I
Is there
I don't know
anybody
who I
you feel
would.
like
You'd have to kind of semi-look like somebody, and I don't know who. I
Well,
would
no,
pick.
because look at makeup. They
Yeah, I
can do a
guess.
lot.
Look at Johnny Knoxville. See that?
Yeah, Jake Grandpa. That's that
tonight,
yeah,
Right? Oh, is that right?
That's tonight. Yeah, yeah.
I'd probably end up playing something like John Wilkes Booth or some crazy thing that nobody ever heard.
Yeah, I'd probably be Fred Flintstone.
Yeah, that's who he would definitely.
Luca
be.
Brasi. You could do.
Luca Brasi. Actually, he'd be great. Fred said he was going to cast him.
You never know. Fred's working on his new picture. Maybe he'll give you a call.
Yeah, he'd be natural.
He's got
I
my
have
number.
That's right.
faith in him. Yeah.
I'm not
definitely.
scared. I'm not scared. So.
So I just want to ask you again. The film festival Sunday is the Gold.
It's
what
the
is it?
Gold Coast International Film Festival. It's up in Port Washington. It's the film. Our film is, I think it's 3:30, but 3 is probably safe. If you look at Gold Coast International Film Festival on the internet, they have where you can buy the tickets. I think they're still available. And like I said, Send No Flowers is the film, and it plays at 3:30, and all the stars will be there. And they're going to do a little question and answer, and then there's a little get together.
Right.
You can talk to them.
I was
You
gonna
can
say
talk to
that.
Sean Young. You can talk to all these people.
I was going to say that. The good part about going to these is you get to meet
Get
these
to meet them.
actors,
And they're
these
terrific.
Yeah.
They're terrific.
Yeah.
Like we were talking before, Sean Young is,
we got pictures with her.
She's a
we got
sweetheart.
pictures with you.
Yeah.
She's a
You know,
sweetheart.
of course, Donna DeCiani.
Right.
What a cast. I mean, the crew is amazing. Everybody, they stayed until everybody left. Nobody just watched the
Right.
film and split. I mean, they.
The guys were.
they
Everybody
hung
was
with it.
really, really nice. I
Yeah,
really,
no, it's a
I
good
really
crew.
had
It's
a
a
great
good-
time.
good bunch of people.
it's
Now,
a
let me
good-
ask you this:
good
though.
day.
Do the people vote on these films?
At the festivals, I
Yeah.
think there's different things. Certain times they have an audience award where the audiences vote and they give that as an award. But for the most part, they usually have a panel of judges that vote on
Okay.
who wins what.
Speaking of awards, because I didn't want to let that slip. Sometimes the hour goes so fast and the show's over, and we go, oh my God, there's so many things we never covered. You have won awards, which is no big surprise.
Couple.
So can I know what they are?
Yeah, no,
I mean, I've
they're-
read them, but I can't read.
Yeah, no,
what they are,
basically the award, the ones you probably read were for the different film festivals. I won for a film I directed called Night for Day back in 2008 and 9. I won an award for one of the best features for the Long Island Expo for that one back then, and then I've won acting awards. Actually won an award for that Video Guys one for a supporting actor
Did you?
award.
Oh, awesome. Well, it was great.
And
liked
I
it.
won one for for The Night Never Sleeps. I won a supporting actor award at a couple of festivals for that. And
That's
then,
a great movie too.
Well deserved. Yeah.
And then this last one I won one for. So I've got a
Right.
couple of different.
No,
But they're all film festivals.
There's no way people could see that one.
Well, here's the thing. Both
Yeah,
of those
that's what I was
films
gonna
are just finishing their festival circuit. What happens is these independent films go in to the festival circuit and they make their way around, and then you try and get buyers to buy them to get them out there to the world, you know.
Okay.
So they're finishing up now, and as a matter of fact, we're all talking. Our group that owns those pictures are trying to sell them right now. So hopefully in the new year we have a couple of things on the burner that I can't announce now, but hopefully
Right.
if everything goes well, both of those films, the last two,
Right.
anyway, Send No Flowers and Night Never Sleeps, will be out there. And by out there, I mean most likely they won't have a theatrical release. If it will, it'll be a limited one on either coast. But most likely you'll get them on Netflix and DVD and video on demand and cable on demand. And you'll be able, hopefully, to flip through your thing on TV and just
Right.
find it.
Really?
Well, I'm hoping that when that does happen, you'll reach out to us and let us know so we can let everybody
Oh,
know.
yeah,
Because
we'll let the world know then.
I can tell you, we truly believe in both those movies. I was surprised when the first one, The Night Never Sleeps. I couldn't believe how great it was. And then, of course, Send No Flowers. I expected greatness.
Oh,
After seeing, no, I expected greatness after
We
seeing
did,
the first
we did,
one.
and it was great.
Yeah,
It
it
was
wasn't
great.
disappointed one
Now,
bit.
let me ask you this: could one of those be picked up and put into the big movies? And
I mean, it's possible.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible. They're a very specific kind of genre picture. You know, they're at a certain place where they would make their best money. You know, direct download, streaming, Netflix, all that stuff. To do a theatrical release, a studio has to get behind a thing and put a lot of money behind it, and they have to really believe in it because it takes a lot of money to put those movies in theaters. And now everybody gets their content, you know, on their on their phone.
Right.
So they much rather funnel that money to doing that kind of stuff, but they save it for the big, really, you know, where they know they're going to make that money back. So it could happen. Most likely what you're going to see is with these pictures is you'll see them out where you can get them, like I said, on DVD, video on demand, and then maybe a year or so down the line, they'll be on HBO and Stars. You know, like
Okay, which is good.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah, right.
And that's what you
So many
want
people
because then
watch.
you can be exposed as an actor and
Right.
exposed as a.
Would you, if somebody ever approached you to do like a series, like what is it, Boardwalk Empire? Is that what the name of it is? I don't even see it because I don't have.
First of all, you had me at. If somebody ever approached me, if somebody, I'm in. Exactly.
So easy.
I have the Christopher Walken mentality of what's next. Is it? You're going to sign me up? I'll do it. So yeah.
You would
Absolutely.
Enjoy
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
At this stage in my life, I am ready to work. I'm ready to make some money doing this. You know,
Right.
I've been doing it for the love and
You do
truth
it
and all
well.
that stuff.
Oh, my
and
God.
I'm ready to do it.
I wanted to
I
ask
see you doing
I
it.
wanted to
I
ask you
see you
this.
doing it.
I don't know if you even know the answer, but does the bootlegs hurt the film industry? Is that tremendous?
Sure, it's just like music.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the same thing. It's anytime you're stealing where where it's taken away from sales, especially
Right.
at our level, our independent level, we don't have the studio behind you where you can absorb that kind of thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they can absorb a little more
Right.
of the theft. They don't want to, but they can do it. But the little guy, he needs every dollar of sales he
that's
can
where it
get.
all comes from.
That's why when people say, "Send me a copy of the movie," I'm like, "Yeah, man,
I don't have one.
Maybe I'll wait till it comes out." You know.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I don't have one.
Yeah, oops, I drive. I can use a good ass kid.
Janet dropped it.
They said
That's
you're
right.
good at dropping things.
I gave
eh?
to Janet, she dropped it.
But I hope you do when that time comes.
Let everybody
that
know.
it's
I'll let
accessible, you
everybody
have to let
know,
us
and I'll let
and-
every agent I can find know.
Good, yeah, definitely. I think you know we would spread the word because if we believe in something, we definitely and we know a
Oh,
lot
we
of people.
totally
We like
support
to
you.
tell people.
I appreciate it, man.
Totally
I
support you.
appreciate.
And you know, if you ever, again, you know, at some point, do a clinic or I'm
Class?
hockey. I'm talking like it's hockey again.
Yeah.
Clinic.
Put the pads on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would love
'cause
to
it's
run a
something I
class.
think I would like to delve into just to try. I might
got it.
suck at it.
You might have to
but
wear
then
pads
again,
in
it
his
may
class too.
Hey, it depends on which class I do.
Yeah, well, we can incorporate boxing and acting.
There's the no
you know.
pants class, which is the special people.
And then there's the Iceman class.
Yeah,
Pads are
Oh,
required.
That's right.
Iceman class, yeah. Well, So now you have something you can't speak about in the future that's hopefully we're going to know about maybe in a year.
Well, like
from now.
I said, I'm
Something you're
writing
you're
a screenplay, and it's
And you're
it's a drama, an intense drama, and hopefully I just got to find money. If I can
Right,
find
okay.
money, I'll hopefully get it
And
produced
you're
next
going to
year.
direct it, and you're going to
Direct
have a
it,
partner
star
too.
it,
You
yeah,
think you'll have,
I'll be in
of
it,
course. How could you not?
absolutely, yeah.
Nice.
Great.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to thank you again, Russ.
This was a blast.
I was thrilled when I met you because having seen your work, I was thrilled when I met you, really, and I see big things for you.
I hope you're
And I want to be able to say, wow, I knew this guy the
Oh,
whole
thank
time
you.
could
So
do
it was
this.
a blast to be here.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you, and we'd love to have you back next year when
You bet.
your next thing makes it big and all that.
I will definitely do
would
that.
love that.
I will definitely do that.
Great, thank you. And next week, I just want everybody to know that we have a very young and talented musician. Kid has, well, I shouldn't call him a kid, but he's young. He has an amazing voice. Casey Cologne? Casey Cologne. Casey, we can't wait to have you on the show next week. You're one amazing talent, and I know you can't wait to be here as well, so it's going to be a great show. And everybody, I just want to wish you a great weekend. Please try to get out to Port Washington this Sunday for the Gold Coast Film Festival, where Send No Flowers will be showing with Russ, who will be there in person with Sean Young and all the other actors and actresses. It's a great experience, and you'll know the truth. We talked a lot about the truth.
That's right.
You will know the truth for yourself if you go and check out that movie. It's amazing.
It's something you don't want to miss. This is what you want. You want to get out and see this because
Yeah, support the
this
local
is raw,
arts,
good,
too.
new.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's one of our films. Trust me. on this one.
Definitely.
My people, it's one of our films. Get out
Definitely.
there, and don't forget it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Oh, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Women, get your mammos. And one more thing, the Rockin' 45s will be playing tomorrow night at the Twisted Kilt on Sunrise Highway in Bohemia. They go on at 9 o'clock. They're a party rockin' band. I'm probably going to get up and do a couple of tunes,
You're definitely
like
gonna
I
do a
always
couple
do. And just great people, great food, great ale on tap, great
Great
drinks.
friends.
Come down and have a good time. From the Madhouse, we love you guys. Peace out and have a great weekend.
Have a good one.